Have you ever wondered who Cain's wife was or where she came from? Especially if Adam and Eve were the very first humans created? Today, we're delving into the mystery of Cain's wife, a figure who sparks curiosity and raises big questions about humanity's earliest origins. While Cain's story is widely remembered for his tragic act against his brother, very little is shared about the woman who stood beside him and helped raise generations after Eden. Join us as we explore the theories, implications, and stories surrounding this enigmatic character and her impact on the expansion of humanity. Could she have been one of Adam and Eve's daughters? Or might her origins reveal a different, untold story? Stick around and we'll dig deeper. In a world just breathed into existence by the divine, where nature itself pulsed with the first sparks of life, Adam and Eve were formed as humanity's progenitors. They lived in a perfect unity until the weight of their choices altered their destiny forever. From their union came Cain, the firstborn, carrying the mark of a unique and challenging path. As a young boy under Eden's open skies, Cain learned to work the land alongside his father. Adam taught him to tend the earth, while Eve shared stories of paradise and the mysteries of their own existence, a legacy woven from both love and loss. By the firelight, she spoke of the serpent and the tree of knowledge, while above, stars cloaked the night in memories of an Eden they would never fully reclaim. Eventually, Eve brought another son into the world, Abel, who was drawn from a young age to care for animals. His skill with creatures seemed a natural balance to Cain's mastery of crops and fields. In those early days, the brothers shared no animosity. Their unique gifts prepared them for a significant moment when they would offer sacrifices to their creator. For Cain, life followed the earth's rhythms, planting and harvesting, feeling the soil beneath his feet, and viewing his crop's abundance as evidence of his bond with the divine. But despite Eden's beauty, Cain began to sense a complexity within his family legacy and the unshakable shadow of their fall from grace. Cain's journey was marked by ambition and humility, brotherly affection mixed with a growing rivalry, a tension that would extend far beyond their lifetimes, impacting all who followed. Eve's words echoed in Cain's thoughts, a reminder of paradise lost and the wisdom gained at great cost. As the eldest son, he walked the earth once part of Eden, bearing the dual weight of blessings and burdens. As the brothers matured, their differences became more pronounced. Abel, with his gentle nature, cared for the sheep with a devotion that seemed to mirror God's own heart. Cain, meanwhile, was a man of the soil, his hands constantly working the ground, struggling to coax life from a land that resisted him. While Abel found peace beneath the stars, dreaming beneath the open sky, Cain wrestled with earth's hardships, fighting weeds and rocks that threatened his crops. His labor was grueling, in sharp contrast to the grace Abel seemed to effortlessly attract. The annual sacrifice approached, a sacred time to show gratitude and devotion. Abel selected the finest of his lambs, an animal with a purity that reflected divine favor. As he offered it, flames rose in acceptance of his gift. Cain, with equal sincerity, offered his harvest, the fruits of hours of labor, the best grains and vegetables he had chosen with care. Yet as he watched, Abel's offering burned brightly, while his own remained untouched, the smoke rising in a sign of divine rejection. Bitterness flooded Cain's heart, as years of work and sacrifice now felt painfully hollow. The story of Cain and his family is a compelling journey of resilience, despite a lineage that began with conflict and exile. Through the bond between Cain and his wife, humanity expanded, carrying with it both the marks of divine mercy and the weight of human imperfection, be a legacy beyond the shadow of Cain's transgression. Cain's journey, marked by divine punishment and grace, led him into the land of Nod, a place of isolation, yet also a chance for new beginnings. As Cain and his wife, a mysterious figure who remains unnamed in Scripture, began their lives together, they laid the foundations for the generations to come. The identity of Cain's wife raises fascinating questions. Some theories suggest she may have been one of Adam and Eve's daughters, as early generations likely intermarried to populate the earth. Others propose she could have been from a larger community that Scripture doesn't explicitly detail, potentially indicating a narrative space where other families or individuals may have existed alongside Adam and Eve's direct lineage. This mystery hints at a world rich in complexity, where creation itself had possibilities that stretched beyond our immediate understanding. Their story reminds us of the power of new beginnings, even when haunted by past shadows and the enduring presence of divine protection guiding human history in unseen ways. Cain's journey, with all its nuances and complexities, is marked by symbols and profound meanings that resonate through human history. After the murder of Abel, Cain is condemned to exile, but rather than succumbing to despair, he clings to the possibility of building a new destiny, even though it is shadowed by the weight of his past. This turning point is symbolized by the birth of Enoch, his first son, who represents a spark of redemption for Cain. Naming both his son and his city after Enoch is not an empty gesture. It is a genuine effort to reinvent his legacy, to distance himself from a life defined by violence. The city of Enoch, created by Cain, was not just a place. It was an attempt to build a community where pain and isolation could be transformed into belonging and hope. The foundation of this city represents humanity's first manifestation of building something lasting. In the context of ancient Mesopotamia, building cities symbolized civilization and progress, a reflection of humanity's ability to organize and survive in community. Cain's act of teaching others how to plan, organize, and construct a city suggests a desire for transformation. He didn't want his existence remembered solely for his crime, but also for what he could create to benefit others. Thus, the city of Enoch becomes a symbol of human resilience, a place where people could start anew, and where Cain's legacy would be remembered for his transformation, not just for his sin. The question of Cain's wife raises an intriguing mystery. If Adam and Eve were the first, where did Cain's wife come from? Some interpretations suggest that Adam and Eve's family may have expanded quickly, with sons and daughters marrying each other to continue the human lineage. In this early stage of humanity, marriages between siblings were seen more as a functional necessity than as an ethical transgression, reflecting the urgency of multiplication and growth. Another fascinating interpretation suggests that God may have created other lineages outside of Eden, implying greater diversity in the initial society, with different groups meeting and merging over time. Regardless of the explanation, the story hints at the potential and complexity of human growth at the dawn of civilization. Sibling marriages at this early stage of humanity were essential for the population's growth. Survival required unions between family members, something seen as natural in this primordial context. As the population grew and society became more complex, laws and ethical understandings arose to govern relationships. The gradual development of an ethical code, distancing itself from sibling marriages, reflects the evolution of society as it moved away from basic survival needs and began to define family roles more structurally. This aspect of the biblical narrative allows for a rich exploration of family and community. A crucial point in Cain's story is the relationship between justice and mercy. God, in his judgment, marks Cain, but also protects him, preventing him from being killed by others. This act of protection reveals a justice that goes beyond punishment. Rather than a final sentence, Cain's mark is, paradoxically, a chance for survival. This symbol combines justice and grace, reflecting the complexity of divine justice. Cain lives with the reminder of his mistake, but is granted the opportunity to move forward and even to build something meaningful. The city of Enoch, situated east of Eden, also serves as a social and cultural landmark for humanity. In ancient times, cities were more than simple clusters of houses. They were centers of trade, learning, and cultural exchange. By naming the city after his son, Cain declares his belief in humanity's potential to evolve, build, and leave a lasting mark. He establishes a new society, with organization and purpose, marking the first step toward the social complexity that would define future cities. The story of Cain and his family is a profound narrative about personal resilience, reinvention, and redemption. His act of building a city, even while bearing the mark of his past, resonates with the universal desire to transform mistakes into experiences of growth and learning. It shows that, despite the shadows of the past, there is a possibility of creating a future that transcends the original wrongdoing. Cain's journey is thus a powerful metaphor for humanity. It portrays the human drive to seek meaning and redemption, even in the most challenging situations. The success of his city, built with pain, hope, and resilience, becomes a legacy that continues to resonate as a testament to the power of reconstruction and transformation, a reflection of humanity's very essence in the search for a future that defies the limitations imposed by the past.
This aspect of the biblical narrative allows for a rich exploration of family and community dynamics at the dawn of human existence. The earliest generations shared knowledge, developed skills, and faced together the challenges of an environment that was still taking shape. The interactions, conflicts, alliances, and love stories that emerged from these relationships formed the foundation on which societies were built. Reflecting on the other sons and daughters of Adam and Eve invites us to imagine a rich tapestry of human experiences, where each lost thread in history carries potential narratives of struggle, survival, discovery, and transcendence. Although the Bible focuses on certain individuals and events, it hints at a world where many stories occurred in parallel, all contributing to the complex mosaic of human history. Marriage practices in biblical narratives, particularly within the Old Testament, reveal a diversity that reflects the cultural and social conditions of the time. Marriages between close relatives, a practice largely avoided today, were not only common, but often strategically important in the societies described. Such unions are evident in stories of prominent figures like Abraham and Sarah, as well as Isaac and Rebekah. Abraham, considered the patriarch of the three great monotheistic religions, married his half-sister Sarah. This relationship is disclosed by Abraham in a conversation with the Pharaoh of Egypt, where he explains that Sarah is his father's daughter, but not his mother's. This marriage, far from being mere personal choice, reflects a common practice aimed at preserving lineage purity, family cohesion, and assets within the same family. Similarly, Isaac and Rebekah's story follows this practice. Isaac, Abraham's son, married Rebekah, daughter of Bethuel, who was Abraham's nephew, ensuring family traditions and beliefs were maintained. These marriages served as family and social strategies that had multiple purposes, strengthening tribal unity, creating a network of relationships, preserving power and wealth within the family, and reinforcing cultural and religious ties. These practices also worked as a means of stability in an era of constant internal and external threats. As time passed, with the growth of the Israelite population, the complexity of social and familial relationships increased, leading to the need for more formalized guidelines. It was in this context that the Mosaic laws emerged, a set of precepts given to Moses to guide the Israelites in moral, social, and religious behavior. Among these laws were specific restrictions on marriage between close relatives, primarily in Leviticus, prohibiting unions such as between siblings, uncles, and nieces, and even certain in-laws. These restrictions aimed to preserve the sanctity and health of the community, reinforcing Israel's unique identity rooted in holiness and obedience to God. The laws reflect not only an adaptation to societal needs, but also an evolution in social practices as the Israelites settled in Canaan, facing cultural influences from neighboring peoples. The guidelines helped maintain the community's integrity and strength, as well as its continuity. Biblical narratives carry a wealth of meanings, not only in their stories, but also in the multitude of interpretations they inspire. The Bible, a revered sacred text, serves as a source of spiritual, moral, and ethical guidance for millions worldwide. Over centuries, scholars, theologians, and believers have explored its pages, seeking to understand its depths and apply its teachings to daily life. This journey is marked by diverse interpretations, reflecting different cultures, times, and individual perspectives. Despite this diversity, two principles often emerge as central pillars: submission to divine will and respect for tradition. In addition to their social function, these laws served a practical role by helping prevent genetic problems within a relatively homogeneous population. Thus, Mosaic legislation on intermarriage not only adapted to society's growing complexities, but also anticipated basic understandings of health and heredity. Submission to God's will is a recurring theme in the Bible. From Abraham's willingness to sacrifice his son Isaac to Jesus' submission to his father's will on the cross, figures in the Bible exemplify unwavering obedience. This obedience is often interpreted as an act of faith and trust in divine wisdom, even when plans are difficult to understand. At the same time, respect for tradition plays a vital role in preserving and transmitting biblical values. Traditions, whether through rituals, festivals, or community practices, serve as collective memory, reinforcing community identity and cohesion and providing a sense of continuity with the past.
Together, submission and respect for tradition offer a balanced framework for biblical interpretation, allowing communities to navigate new understandings while staying true to foundational beliefs. The story of Cain's wife, though mysterious and brief in the biblical text, offers a window into the complexities of human origins and ancient social practices. This unnamed figure symbolizes not only the expansion of the human family, but also the importance of reading Scripture with an awareness of cultural context. Cain's wife prompts us to consider the possibilities of how early generations grew and interacted. She represents the intersection between narrative tradition and the gaps left by ancient texts, encouraging a deeper exploration of early family and community dynamics. In contemplating Cain's wife, we are invited to reflect on the origins of social life, family structures, and the cultural adaptations necessary for survival and continuity. Though peripheral, her presence serves as a reminder that every figure in Scripture has a role in shaping human understanding of self and the divine. With this rich narrative tapestry in mind, we have something special to share with you in the first pinned comment. You will find a valuable resource for anyone wishing to deepen their spiritual walk, an ebook designed to accompany you over 52 weeks, offering daily reflections, practices, and prayers inspired by the stories and teachings we've explored together. This ebook is more than a guide. It's a companion on your journey of faith, illuminating your path with insights drawn from the heart of the Bible. If you seek a deeper faith experience, guidance in times of doubt, strength in adversity, and a closer communion with the divine, this resource is for you. See you next time.